Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers, after they had been beaten 7 straight times by the Kansas City Chiefs, pull it out in São Paulo, Brazil. What a game between these two teams. There are so many storylines that we can get into. The number one thing we have to talk about is the way that one ended up. Justin Herbert, his performance, how consistent, how reliable he was throughout the entire game. From the very first possession, with the Chargers getting the football, going right down the field and scoring a touchdown. The last drive of the game, they're up by 6, trying to salt away the clock, and they are able to do it. 3rd and 14, looks like Mahomes is going to get the football back with 2 minutes, a decent amount of time. Maybe we'll have to go around 80 yards to score, of course, the game-winning touchdown. We have seen this game play out so many times. I had been there in person, Sunday night game back in 2022. Chiefs-Chargers, Sunday night game, Chargers in position. Mahomes and the Chiefs pull it out, but not this time. The ball is in Herbert's hands, and the ball ends in Justin Herbert's hands. Now, Keenan Allen, I'll go to him first, because this guy had been a free agent. He left Los Angeles, obviously was with the Chicago Bears a year ago, and his immediate impact, the chemistry between Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen was huge. The touchdown they had, 3rd down, it seemed like it was either McConkey or Keenan Allen where Justin Herbert really wanted to go with the football. I really was impressed by that Chargers front. Their front 5 on offense. They didn't have Rashawn Slater out for the season, obviously. That was one of my concerns of why I did not like the Chargers' chances in this game against that really good Chiefs defensive front. That's won a couple of Super Bowls for them, led, of course, by Chris Jones, but they held up very well. Look, they gave up 3 sacks. Herbert was taken down a couple of times. The run game wasn't very efficient. 25 carries for 90 yards. That's only 3.5 a carry, but it was Justin Herbert and his arm. It was obvious from the get-go that they wanted to attack. They wanted to get the ball out of Justin's hands quickly and get the ball to his playmakers. I mean, think about it. They've got Ladd McConkey, the number 1 target. You could say Keenan Allen, the number 2, but we saw the development of Quentin Johnston happen before our eyes. 5 catches, 80 yards, and 2 touchdowns. No issues with drops, no problems for Quentin Johnston becoming a major force in this offense. There's still Trey Harris had a catch in this game, Keandre Lambert-Smith. We can see the full potential of this offense when they're able to unlock Justin Herbert and his ability. We've been waiting for it. Omarion Hampton, though, we're going to go to that where we talk about the shift that majorly occurred in this game. Los Angeles dominated the first half. They had the football up by 7 points, 4:50 left, and they drove down the length of the field, had the ball in Chiefs territory. It really felt like they were trying to settle for a field goal, and there's only about 45, 50 seconds remaining. They have a 3rd down. The Chiefs do not have any timeouts, and a lot of people are going to say this is on Omarion Hampton because he ran out of bounds. I say it's on Jim Harbaugh. You cannot put your team in a position where a player makes a mistake that a rookie like Hampton, of course, in college football, under 2 minutes, clock stops, you go out of bounds. In the NFL, under 5 minutes in the 4th quarter, clock stops, and then 2 minutes in the 2nd quarter. 4th quarter under 5, everyone knows that. But Hampton makes a mistake, goes out of bounds. Jim Harbaugh has to be better. All the coaches, this is a great lesson, do not even call the stretch play outside the tackles, up the middle, take it down to 5-10 seconds, kick your field goal, go into the half, up 10 with the football, because they come out of the half, immediate 3 and out. And that's even skipping the part where Mahomes has the big completion. They have the fire drill. Butker nails a 57-yard field goal, and LA, after a completely dominating first half, is only up by 7 points. This game almost gets tied after the Chiefs go right down the field. After that, Travis Kelce score, but what happens? Butker misses the extra point. This game had everything that you wanted in it. Chargers late in the game at 4th and 7. Khalil Mack bearing down Mahomes. They're up by 9 points late in it. He has a big hit on Mahomes. He's able to find Hollywood, lights, camera, action, Brown for a big play. But what happens next? The Chargers hold. Mahomes, Kelce aren't able to connect inside the 5. And we saw them kick the field goal and force that opportunity for LA to go win that game without having to give the ball back to Patrick Mahomes. And speaking of Patrick Mahomes, he looked pretty good. I mean, 24 of 39, 260 yards passing, had the touchdown to Travis Kelce wide open in that game on that specific play, but that's only a 90 rating. You compare that to Justin Herbert's effectiveness throughout the day. Throwing the ball, obviously, you got to give the edge a little bit more so to Herbert, and it seemingly looked like that Chargers defense was holding up in coverage. Obviously, a major storyline for Kansas City. First drive of the game, Travis Kelce and Xavier Worthy collide. Worthy's knocked out the rest of the game with a shoulder injury. You could tell that they were looking for an element that we were hearing about all offseason, the explosive plays from that Kansas City Chiefs offense. They're going to look a lot more like 2019, getting to that Super Bowl, winning it for the first time against the 49ers with Tyreek Hill in that wasp play. But 17 carries. They only ran the ball 17 times, effective 98 yards, 6 yards a carry, and a touchdown. Would have liked to see them run the ball more. And we're counting 6 carries for 57 and a touchdown for Mahomes. Obviously really effective with his legs on the day. He was really good when he needed to be, just like always with his legs. Always seems to know where the sticks are to pick up the first down. I'm going to address the elephant in the room, because that play on the sideline that Mahomes made has been one of the most debatable topics in football, right? The quarterback's near the sideline on a run. Obviously, you're trying to let up as a defender because you don't want the late hit. We saw the Chiefs get to the Super Bowl because a Bengals defender, right, hit Mahomes after the play, gives the Chiefs an opportunity to kick the field goal. So players by the sideline are so wary, especially if it's Patrick Mahomes. They're so wary about that sideline. And Mahomes and Allen, Jackson, Burrow, Hurts, like by the sideline, let him go. What does Mahomes do? He decides to throw his left shoulder into the defender, and you're sitting there thinking, like, are you kidding me? This is almost like a written agreement at this point, not even just a games type of play. We're going to make this mutual agreement, kind of just give you the head nod. It's like Mahomes threw all of the paperwork away and said, I'm just going to try and make a flashy play in this position, when so many times he's not even hit that hard and just sort of flops when he's in the white area on the sideline, because he's trying to game the system in a sense to get the call. He lowers the shoulder, very dangerous, because we can see this throughout the year. How are players going to play Mahomes on the sideline? Are you giving yourself up? Are you actually getting out of bounds? It's really open to create a very dangerous play for defenders, for Patrick Mahomes. Obviously, this does not paint him in a good light whatsoever. It sort of overshadows what was a great game and a very good performance on the day. Now, I want to talk about Marion Hampton running the football, because 15 carries for 48 was not enough, but I wanted to see them control the ball, to control time of possession. It felt like the Chargers were attacking so much, but still 25 total carries. That's what they were able to muster in this game, which still amounts to a decent chunk where they were able to take advantage in the time of possession category. What does that do when you take care of time of possession? 32-45 for the Chargers to 27, a little bit over 27 for the Chiefs. It keeps Patrick Mahomes in that high-flying 3 Super Bowl winner Patrick Mahomes on the sideline, and your offense out there on the field, wearing them down, wearing down their front four, wearing down their secondary, their pass rush, and all of that. That is why it's so important. And then you look at third down. 7 for 13 were the Chargers in this game, whereas the Chiefs really tough on third down, a little bit better than 33%. They were 5 of 14 on the day. Great on fourth down, though. They converted 3 of their 3 attempts. Obviously, the Chargers with a really big conversion, up by 1, where they had the 4th and 1, where Quentin Johnston caught the ball a little bit short, and then they are able to pick it up with Hampton, go down the field, and get the touchdown to take their, what ended up being an 8-point lead before the Chiefs kind of stormed back into that thing. Now, let's go over sort of the ultimate story of what this means going forward here, because the Chiefs don't lose openers. They lost to the Lions a couple years ago, but that is a much different story. The Lions had all that swagger, all that momentum going into the year, a hot team. It didn't feel like that big of a loss because it was an out-of-conference game. Chiefs just lost to a divisional opponent. Not just a divisional opponent, but opponent that got a wild card spot last year, that was right there, almost looking very good down this stretch, like they could be a dangerous team in the playoffs. Surprising that they lost to Houston, a team that a lot of people thought that they should beat. Herbert throws four picks. He had 3 the entire season. This is a dangerous Chargers football team. I know we're going to talk about Slater and that impact, but they were fine in pass protection without him. And going forward, this is a 2-game swing. Because the Chiefs lose this one, they have to make up for it by beating the Chargers, by getting a sweep over the Denver Broncos, by sweeping the Raiders, finding a way to navigate that division, where immediately at 0-1, it's like, well, 5-1 looks really tough to do. We'd have to sweep everybody the rest of the year, where 4-2 looks a lot more realistic. And when for the Chargers, it's like, where can we navigate? I mean, if we can get to 5-1 somehow in the divisional standings and wind up with the same record as the Chiefs, we could be the team that comes out with the divisional title. We're already talking about this because the way Justin Herbert looked, the way the defense looked, Khalil Mack looking fresh in there, Derwin James looking very good, the secondary holding up. They were getting decent pressure on Mahomes, 2 sacks on the day, but Mahomes made some special plays. It really showed a lot of positive signs that there was growth there, that Jesse Minter's defense is very much so coming along. And then offensively, I mean, holy cow, the weapons they have, they just have more weapons than the Chiefs do. I mean, Conklin looked really good. I talked about the receiving talent earlier, but Lambert Smith, low 4.4s, Trey Harris, just a terrific player for Ole Miss, Ladd McConkey, Keenan Allen, and then Amarion Hampton, who can catch the ball really well out of the backfield. We're starting to talk about one of the most dangerous offenses in the entire NFL with all of those weapons coming together. And what's incredible is they all have unique, different types of skill sets, where Harris, Lambert Smith can line up on the outside. McConkey and Allen are obviously more of your slot, your guys that are lined up running the routes over the middle of the field. And Herbert showing a little bit more mobility, a bit more Mahomesy-ness in this one, where he's like, I'm going to go win this game for my team. A factor, something that we haven't seen him pull out enough in big moments where he goes and gets third downs. We've seen him throw incompletions, take sacks. He decides to put the team on his back. 3rd and 14, and your chances of usually converting that are 20, maybe 15%. It's very tough to do that, and he does it. Jim Harbaugh beats Andy Reid. You can absolutely see the betting lines. A lot of money is probably going to be shifting towards Los Angeles Chargers, who, by the way, have another divisional opponent. They have the Las Vegas Raiders week 2. They are on the road, and then the Broncos. So they start off the season immediately, 3 divisional opponents. We will know all we want to see about the Chargers, that game at the Raiders, who look to be better on Monday Night Football, and then the Broncos at home. So if they can come out of there 3-0 with 3 divisional wins, I mean, we're already talking about division. That would be a huge start. And as for the Chiefs, I mean, Philadelphia at home. Like, let's go. It's go time. You can't be starting the season 0-2. Philadelphia Eagles obviously are looking to show off their muscle. They came out with a tight win against the Dallas Cowboys. A really almost tough look here for Kansas City, being 0-1, and then looking at the Super Bowl champs, who's we don't know the status as the recording of this of Jalen Carter, if he'll be available, depending on, after that spit scenario. But the Eagles' offense with Barkley, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, Hurts mobility, they look very dangerous. So obviously a little bit of an unsettling thought here now for the Kansas City Chiefs going into that matchup and what they're going to be facing. But a great game overall. YouTube TV, Eisen Warner on the call. This was a lot of fun to watch. Obviously, we're putting a lot of content out there on YouTube. It's so much fun to make these videos. Please subscribe to keep seeing more of these videos in the future. I appreciate you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next one coming out very soon. See you next time. Thank you.
Best player in college football.
That Georgia and Ohio State game, New Year's Eve, is going to be a classic.
Josh Blunder. Hi, everybody. I'm Josh Blunder.
To the 40, 35, 30, Espinosa to the 20.